started off with the Max Cam. Look at that. That's one way to start the show, I suppose. The biggest news in sim racing today is the retiring of the push-up cam. This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole. But the real star of today's show is Max. Yes, the push-up cam is gone. We are no longer doing push-ups. I will still try to be honorable. I'll still try to be a good person here on YouTube and keep the swearing to an absolute minimum. But we today have officially retired the push-up cam. It was a fun phase. It was a good joke for a little while, and now it's outworn its welcome, and it's been replaced with the Max Cam. So if Max has an opinion or a thought on the show, we might have to tune in to see what he has to say about things. You can see other objects in the background, like my 3D printer and all sorts of things in the background of the studio. Anyway, happy Monday, everybody. How you doing? How was your weekends? Did you have a good weekend? I did. You know, my weekends start Friday morning, and it starts with Friday night oval racing. We had a patron practice race on Saturday in the Rallycross, which was super fun. Then Sunday we had our GT3 race. All sorts of fun things for me. Is that a napkin by that wheel? Is that a napkin by the wheel? Which wheel? What napkin? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Tom. Max Cam. Max Cam. Hi, Max. What's up, buddy? Hi. I don't see a wheel. I see a Max. Oh, what? Are you pawing at me? No, there's not a wheel in sight. The wheel you see is my 3D printer. That's a spool of filament that you see. Yeah, no wheels. No wheels in that picture. Anyway, I had a great weekend. I hope the same thing for you guys. On the floor. No. You know what that is? That piece of paper you are referring to is actually the nightmare that is my life. Yes, Max is on YouTube only. We'll work on that. I just need to get another camera that doesn't confuse things. We could do that for Twitchiverse as well. Can you guys see him if I go like that? No, you really can't. Oh, well. All right. I'm sorry. I've lost my mind already. There's a Post-it on the floor. That Post-it is the piece of paper I use to calibrate the level on my 3D printer. So that is on the floor because I spent probably 12 hours doing nothing but trying to calibrate my beast. That's an interesting euphemism. Calibrate my beast. Anyway, it is now, knock on wood, the last few prints have gone very well, so I'm kind of happy. So, alright, what else? What's going on in sim racing? There are a few things to talk about. It's a little bit of a slow news day, which is fine, because I actually have lots of things planned for the rest of the day and tomorrow. So the sooner we wrap up the pit stop, the sooner we get on to other content as well. Starting off with iRacing. This is big news. This is a first ever. Oh, Max decided he didn't want to be on camera anymore. Bye, lazy. You going back to bed? You didn't want to hang out for the show? All right. Well, we'll see you later, I'm sure. Sanchez scores his first Porsche Tag Heuer Esport Super Cup win at Silverstone. That's good news. Good for him. Congratulations to, what's his first name? Let's not just call him Sanchez. Said Sanchez. Alejandro Sanchez scored his first victory in the Tag Heuer. That is really the peak, top level of iRacing. With it, one of the people he has to beat to win a race is Benecke, Maximilian Benecke, who has now broken the 11,000 iRating. Just think about that. 11. Think about how hard it is for the most of us to go from 2,000 to 3,000. And what a tremendous accomplishment that growth is. How do you even get to 11,000? Well, I know one way, by winning a lot of races at the highest level. Strength of field in the races he runs is probably 8,000-9,000 strength of field. Anyway, congratulations. That is an amazing accomplishment. And I think we have a post here from iRacing as well. When we switch things over to the iRacing Twitter feed, we can see Josh Rogers, a bunch of drivers getting psyched up and ready for the next big race in the Porsche series. Then you've got Bernard Pollard Jr. It's going down. iRacing, here he comes, putting his rig together. Or actually, I should say, having his rig put together. I believe he is a soccer player. Is that who Bernard Pollard Jr. is? Someone help me out there. Oh, is that a shot? His first iRacing qualifying lap. I thought he really did something until Chad Wheeler brought me back to earth. Who's Bernard Pollard? Anybody? Devin, do you know? Baba Boothie? Baba Boothie. You don't. All right. Okay. Well, Bernard Pollard. Pollard. Welcome back to the show, Baba Boothie. Baba Boothie back. He was in the woods for a week with his family, camping and having some good family time. Anyway, welcome back to the show, Baba Boothie. Okay, so there he goes. Let's see. Simray Bike asks, I'm not an iRacer, so I'm curious, is there any way to make money from an iRating like that? Is that sarcasm on a Monday morning, Mike? That sure sounds like sarcasm coming from you. You tell me it's not, and I will answer your question. I'm pretty sure Maximilian Benecke does make a decent living from sim racing. Pretty sure he does. He's a safety for the NFL Ravens. Well done. Thank you very much. Hey, Joe Blow. How you doing? Yeti Gaming. Yeti. So with the name Yeti, I just got to address the name Yeti Gaming. So me being me, the first thing I think of when I think of the word Yeti is, funny enough, bicycles. One of the premier mountain bike companies of the world, Yeti. If you're like a fisherman or a camper, of course, coolers is the first thing that you're going to come to. And then if you're like a Bigfoot, aficionado, you'll be, of course, thinking Sasquatch or something along those lines. What's your version of Yeti Racing? Let's see here. Yeti mics. Oh, of course. Why didn't I think of Yeti mics? Can't think of anybody who would really... Yeti is universal. Big snowman for Tom. We are sidetracked. Look, a squirrel, everyone. Did you see the squirrel run by? Oh, it's a nickname for being over 6 foot with a beard and long hair. Awesome. I guess that would be closest to the Sasquatch one then. We do need a squirrel cam, Tom. That would be very funny. All right, so Porsche's posting about the big esport that went on over the weekend, and then we have some videos coming out. Josh Rogers, the qualifying king. Cars are on track at Silverstone. This obviously happened over the weekend. Links to everything are there at Twitter. You can check it out yourself. A girl cam. There's no such thing as a girl cam in sim racing, Dennis. Or a girl cam is a female streamer, but you're not going to find a girl looking over the shoulder of a guy sim racing. That's hard to find. I mean, how many times have you seen Boothie's wife? I mean, seriously. I mean, only enough to know she exists. You said it, not me. 3D printer. Oh my. Okay. Anyway, so here's this. This is the results. No, that's not the results. Oh, this is, yeah, but this got to be qualifying results. Boodaloop Sanchez. I'm going to have to find out what went on there. Okay, here we go. P3 for Benecke in the sprint race. Porsche Coanda JB1. That's Boodaloop. I thought, what's his face one that we just covered? Clean it Turn 1. This is the live race. Here, let's listen to some of this one. The sprint race followed by the main event. There we go. You cannot hear Boothie? I'm not seeing... You're not hearing the commentary either then, are you? Bear with me. Thank you. Why did that change again? I thought we solved that yesterday after the update. This is Boothie, so when do we get to see your wife on stream? We missed that whole bit.
When she's drinking.
All right, anyway, there you go. And Alexander B47, Alejandro Sanchez, holds off Max Benecke and G2 Sebi. What a list of drivers, man.
The main race, the feature race, goes for the first time in his career to Alejandro Sanchez. He wins from Max Benecke and Sebastian
Benecke goes up to 11,000. That's amazing.
Sanchez, a big day for Max Benecke as he moves up.
All right, and there's the big post from Team Redline. From iRacing, Benecke becomes the first driver in history to reach 11,000. I love this graphic. That's priceless right there. New iRating milestone. Benecke, 11,000. Bad ass. And then Porsche, more pictures, more pictures, more pictures. There's his iRate. There it is. There it is, official. Devin's wife cam. That's what they're asking for. iRacing sponsorship on a real super late model there. Going through techs at Oxford, past 150 over the weekend. We already talked Porsche. This can't tell if it's a real photo or a fake photo or a la iRacing photo. Can you tell the difference? That looked real. What else? I think that's it. Ah, no. This just in. Top secret. They're now making clay car models in iRacing. Clay. New content coming soon. LMP2. I feel this is only a relevant car if they came out with 2 or 3 of them simultaneously. Isn't it just going to be another on its own car? I don't know. Okay, switching over to Assetto Corsa Competizione, or Assetto Corsa, depending on which flavor. Live with ACC, 8 hours of Laguna Seca. That's being done by Jardier. I'm sure many of you know him. Not sure if I say his name right, but he's a long-time known community member. Real Race is back for round 4 in Suzuka. Watch it live at 7 p.m. and experience the thrill of driving. Visit Esport Lamborghini to know more about Lamborghini's first Esport competition. Anyway, round 4, we've talked about it 3 other times at least. So round 4 coming up at Suzuka. Chris Hay did his first event in the Endurance Series. 4.5 hours of thunderstorms later, they managed a hard-fought P7. So congratulations to him and his team. Let's see. I think that's it from Corsa. Yep, that's it. Porsche. They gave... this happened just Friday after our show, I believe. I don't think we covered it on Friday. Hey, Paso, Dopo, Paso. I get on track as much as I can. I'd like to get on track more often than that. I would say that no, 3D modeling is not easier than clay, because you still have to draw it or find it. If you find it and print it, but 3D printers suck. By the way, Boothie typed that about the wife, not me. Just so you know, I wouldn't say such a thing. Or I wouldn't even know such a thing. Alright, so okay, rFactor 2. They gave the lovely Nurburgring an update. Wonder what's in it. Added new layout. Support 24-hour large optimization pass. The new support layout is used to support series such as the Porsche Carrera Cup or ADAC Formula 4 Championship. Enjoy. Couple pictures. See, to me, this one does not look all that real. But this one does. Yeah, a little blur to the background, and sim racing does start to look pretty real. That looks pretty real. And I didn't notice the differences. Did you? That was what we were focusing on, the differences in the support layout. But that is happened on Friday, and that's old news. That's it from them. Project Cars 3, not a lot out of them, but they did get in the cockpit of the new 2019 spec Indy car in Project Cars 3. Dallara chassis, Dallara IR18 Aero kit, twin turbo V6 700 bhp, single seater racing. Doesn't get more extreme. Watch the video. Okay. I'll watch the video. With you. With me. Peggy 3. I'm going to mute. And so here they are setting it up. Seeing a little of the UI in action, I suppose. I'll take a swig of coffee while we watch this. Did I see just like massive head movement? They're braking. We'll watch the next brake zone. Yeah, you do. Ugh. You can turn that off. You know, I've been to Laguna during like IMSA, and it never looks quite like they have it here. Oh shoot, craziness. All right, actually it might look that good big or done up during AMA weekend. Game looks like a cartoon, says Viper. 604, I didn't say it as I read it, but I sure did think it. Why didn't Project Cars 3 get the 2020 car with the windscreen? I agree. Shaun has no sexy YouTuber alert for RC. RC? What's RC? What am I missing?
Random call sign. Woo!
Oh, hey, what up?
Wee-doo.
Thank you, Boothy. Boothy with the pickup there, with the spare. All right. So there's our project. Yeah, engine noise copyright. I think we'll be all right. The shift-ized surroundings. Yes. I've been calling it Horizon, but yes. 28th. 28th. Yep. Yeah, we already know they have the mid-engine vet. It's just a matter of somebody else getting it sooner. I think they are the one. When that car came out, that was the first thing I thought. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? Who's coming with me? All right, Dirt, I think we covered this on Friday, where massively upscaled aspects like shading to add some incredible depth and detail. Speaking of Horizon-esque, the key features of our Dirt 5 environments have a new layer of visual awe to them. Next thing you know, you're going to be able to, have dance moves in Dirt 5. Dirt 6. Dirt 6 will have driver-mations that you can buy. All right, what else? Check out the official Dirt trailer. Dirt 5 right now. Let's check it out. Peggy 3. Sorry, I can't even watch a trailer without. We've seen this. This isn't new. That's not new. How dare you? How dare you retweet? Let's see. It's going to be available on Stadia. Get ready to let loose. Get ready to lose. That's how I read it. Get ready to lose. Shaun is pop locking. Zoomer graphics everywhere. Dave Blair, nowadays, that would have you waiting a long time. But by the time you watch a Cole review, you can get the game on discount. That's the beauty of my reviews. It's a planned thing. Dirt 5 screenshots as of Saturday. That looks very Wreckfest if we were like to make parallels. I buy Codemasters games so I can uninstall them and return them to Steam. It's a hobby. With more titles than ever before, double clutch. I gotta tell you, as much as I'm super duper excited for Dirt 5, and you guys can't see what I'm doing, but just imagine I was covering up the Dirt 5 logo on the bottom. Would you know this was Dirt 5? Or would you seriously not think this was Forza Horizon, other than license plates on the car? Yeah, I'm really excited about the features that they're talking about within Dirt 5. I am, because it's a throwback to Dirt 2. Or 1. I think it's 2 that I'm referring to. But they gave it a flavor that is definitely, yeah, Horizon. This just, again, if you took the logos off, I wouldn't be able to distinguish this as Dirt. I'm not sure that's different than previous versions. I'm just saying this about what I'm seeing right now. I'd have to go back in time and remember, but I don't remember Dirt 2 feeling so Horizon. That's what I'll start calling it. Verizon. Verizon 4. All right, Formula 1. A few new things from them. Nothing revolutionary. There is a patch, though. They keep promoting their scores. You know, I don't know if I'm going to keep chuckling. I'm going to try to get back to F1 2020 tomorrow. I don't know how far off I'd be from an 8.5. From what I've seen. You know, the game franchise, you can point fingers at it for a variety of things. And at the same time, you can pat them on the back over the years for a lot of really decent features. And overall, a pretty decent game for what market it attempts to be. I do get offended by just 9s and 10s from non-gaming, non-driving sites. But I guess that's overall good, because I'm assuming that when Eurogamer or IGN looking at the game, they're looking at it more from the perspective of Fortnite or Grand Theft Auto and the general gaming world. So when you look at those companies all being in the 9 and 10 range scores, it means that as a gaming title, forget sim racing title, it's rather good. I think when we want to point fingers and fault it, it's really coming from the sim racing perspective. Dave Blair, I agree with you 100%. How do you make a title today in 2020 and not support VR? But, you know, oh, here you go. This is why. This is where we're at. Oh, this is where we're at. iPhone. This is why there's no VR. Hey, come on. F your ad. I thought we get a time down. There you go, Dave. There's your answer to VR. Oh, yep. All right. But we'll get there. That's the thing. We will get there, Dave. It's a slow process. I guess if you want to, you know, this is going to sound sick, but this is the reality. And if you want to see every game in the world have VR, then you're going to have to push the VR porn industry faster. Because as we know, when it comes to tech, porn leads everything. So there you go. I don't think we played it long enough, Tom. I think we can get away with that. Is Is it Neo? I don't know. But see, what I do know is that I'm not seeing it pushed out there to the mainstream, and that's what I kind of mean. You know, when it's just everywhere in every household, you know, that's when you can assume that a game should just have it. Right now, VR is sort of in the spot that sim racing had been for decades, which is it is a niche market still. As awesome as it is, and man, do I love VR. But it's still a niche audience. So there you go. Formula One, it's race day, Hungarian GP. Future, that's an interesting question. I was going to say a great question. I don't know if it's a great question, but that's an interesting question. Yeah, and that, Devin Boothie, I wish you had said that live. What did you just type?
We're in a niche within a niche within a niche, too.
And the other part that you typed about implementation.
About like the fact that they don't implement even a triple monitor yet, and that it's not that hard to do it, really, as long as the environments are done. The companies that aren't doing it are your companies like Codemasters, where they're cutting corners to get their games out on a yearly basis.
Yep, absolutely. And at this point, especially when you're talking about something like the F1 series, F1, let's be fair. It's our example of the Madden sim. You know, it's the Madden sim. Every year there's an update. Some years, you know, if anybody saw Billy Strange's review for Heat 5, talking about if there was ever a version of it, like it should have been a DLC, not a full game. For those who have Heat 4, Heat 5 is nothing but an expensive DLC pack, essentially. In Codemasters years, you know, F1 2010, so we're now on our 11th year. Which years do you buy, which years do you don't? Well, over 11 years, there is no excuse for in one of those oddball years where there are very few improvements, where it really should have been just a patch DLC year versus a new title. It would have been nice to have seen better implementation of VR, of triple screen support. It would have been great to have seen VR support. They did check one off my big list, though, in getting better controller support than ever before. So they did finally, after 11 years, get one thing that I just feel that should have been addressed many versions prior. But the nice thing, I'm pretty confident that VR is not a fad. It's just a slower, tougher transition than other things that we've seen that in the tech world, usually the world adopts very quickly. You know, you compare it to like 3D vision, and 3D vision was a fad and it was immediately recognizable as one. It was awesome, but it was obviously not going to make it everywhere because you weren't seeing it being implemented left and right. Flip that over.
Sorry, you made me think about it. I just wanted to mention, you're talking about the differences with it. If you think about it like 4K monitors, like lots of people have them, they're great, they're wonderful, but the tech doesn't support it. It's the same thing with VR. They're wonderful, they're great, lots of people have them, but the tech doesn't support it. Our graphics cards are only just getting to a point where it's good enough.
Well, and aren't they already on like 8K?
In some cases for recorded content like video and stuff like that, rendered things, 4K is pretty well a top out. Like we're barely able to maintain the hideous like 30 to 50 FPS with the greatest equipment with 4K. And when you add triple screens, it drops that frame rate down even further. So why would you go 4K or VR when you can only maintain, you know, warp frames at 45 FPS or 30 FPS on your triple screen setup?
Well, the other thing I kind of wonder about them going super over the top resolution is, to an extent, in some, not all formats, but that we've never really gotten to the point of optimized on lower levels, and they're now jumping to a level that now my next concern would be, well, almost everything we do deals with the online world, even in gaming. And when we start getting into like 8K scenarios, I'm not sure we have the bandwidth to push all that around. And again, I'd love to see more work on optimization before doubling and tripling. Like, even in the VR world, you know, I've always complained about them being blurry and wanting more resolution. But at the same time, frame rate was also an issue at times, and latency was an issue at times. And to me, those are higher priority than squeezing more pixels if you can't deliver them. So, but again, I'm not, you know, these are areas that I don't know anything about, you know. All right, what else? What else? Thanks, Dave Blair. Thanks for the great topic. Hungaroring. Yep, F1. Need some help getting around Hungaro. How many of you watched the race? I missed the race this weekend. Midday Saturday, everyone was like, did you see the race? And it didn't. I like, yeah, the resolution on my Rift S is adequate, except for I can't read small things at long distances kind of thing. Robert Poole, it really depends on what your old PC is. Did you type that in yet? I can't just arbitrarily say yes or no. Do we have specs on what you're running? It doesn't take a supercomputer to run VR, depending on what you're doing with your VR. I'd say all in all, VR ends up being pretty close to the resources needed for triple screens.
I can give you a base for that because I ran VR like on base hardware. If you have like an R5 or a decent i5 from like the 6000 generation up, an i7 from the 4700 generation up, and you've got like an RX 480, a GTX, the 980 Ti, anything better than that, even a 960 will do it, but that's bare minimum that you're starting to run with for racing titles at that point. And Assetto Corsa Competizione is not going to run on that hardware, just so you know.
Okay, there you go. Random, that's all I really needed to know. Oh, half an hour. So what you guys tell me, so what is the vibe of the race? What are your guys' take on the vibe of racing without fans? So I watch a lot of Premier League soccer. And if you watch Premier League, I know this is how they're doing in the United States. I don't know about other places, but there's no fans there. They are piping in sound, artificial sound, like soundtrack audience noise, which leads me to a different topic. They really should have hired some DJ mixer guy and been like, hey, it's the home field advantage. We're going to make the crowd noise go as such, you know, because that's what yeah. So, yeah, I see it's really weird for me watching pro sports without fans or spectators in the seats. It's like, it just doesn't seem or feel real to me. Now, I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't in this conversation, but I'm just saying, does it really, I mean, maybe for these companies, it does need to happen. For me, I'm okay under the circumstances of missing everything else, missing out on most sports for the year. Get it sorted, get it back to normal. But at the same time, I am watching the Premier League. I have gone back and forth on this fan noise. You can actually switch to a different channel and have it without fan noise, and I can guarantee you I would not watch it without fan noise. I would be like bored out of my mind. So I do watch the one with the fan noise, and I still have been watching, but even when I'm watching and they have advertisements over the seats, and it's just weird. It's like you're watching a practice game. Or an inter-squad game even. I mean, I think the guys are playing just as hard. Racing might be a little different, though. Because racing, except for the absolute peak moments, we hear the engine noise far more than the fans. You know, at the start of the race, you hear the fans. At the finish, you hear the fans. At the big moments, you hear the fans. But other than that, you hear the cars. Or even bikes. Those things are even louder. You enjoyed MotoGP without fans? Yeah, okay, so Boothie says engine sounds and car smells, so the fans are kind of irrelevant to the drivers. But are they? I think that's part of their fuel of their energy at times. Maybe not in racing, but as much as doing their job. Like, if you're a NASCAR dude and you gotta fly to a track on Thursday, sleep in a hauler, you'd sleep better, it'd be quieter at night, I'll tell you that. Or go to a hotel. And then fly out Sunday night back to your home and then do it again all on Thursday. I don't know. I think part of the motivation for these guys is having fans. I think that part of racing is ego. Part of fulfilling your ego if you didn't go home with the trophy is everyone coming up and telling you it was a great race. And yeah. Oh, thank you, Billy. See, now we have from somebody who really, really knows. Because the only racing I've ever done in my life, the only people watching were fellow racers and family, friends. That's it. So a big crowd to me is like two people watching you race. That's a good day. Yeah, but
Billy raises a point.
Yeah, about the fans.
Short track. He's well. You got to think about different environments too. We're talking about F1 right now. Those are plenty wide tracks. You can get off on a crazy huge long track like that, and often there are times where there are only fans on a handful of corners. Right. But when you're talking about oval racing and dirt, like Billy just mentioned, there's you're right next to the fans. They're right there. You're hitting them with dirt.
Yeah,
big difference.
Oh, Tom, that's very true by tenfold. So when in my go-karting days, my brother was pretty much always there with me. My mom came out for 1 or 2 races, and one of my best friends came out for a race. That was my total fandom. And I raced. I had a friend who, or I had made a friend in my racing world, so he was like my teammate unofficially because we were friends, and he'd watch, but usually he'd be watching from right in front or right behind me on the track. Well, so when I used to work at Russell Racing, one of the guys I raced with up there, he crashed a car going up the hill. And, we all had enough laps under our belt at that track that you shouldn't really be crashing cars unless there's a racing incident of sorts. And he was all alone. And we asked him why. And he literally told us there were 2 hot chicks on the corner, and he had literally looked over for a blink of an eye and put 2 wheels off and everything went wrong. And he blamed it on his eyes being drawn on fans, so to speak. So, I don't know. I think the fans in the stand do play a role, and I think that you see them, you feel them, you hear them, and then afterward when it's, congratulations or applause, the difference of walking up on stage and getting a trophy and walking up on stage and getting a trophy when you actually hear people clapping and whistling and is a big, big difference. It's a big difference. Ray Alfalo walked the stage to get his big check when he won the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Championship. They gave him the big trophy, the Jostens ring, and the big check and all that. They could have given it all to him in a dark room, and he'd still have all the stuff. But man, he got to get up there in front of 50,000 people because they were doing the awards for everyone, to them cheering his name. A true champion's welcome, right? Recognition. That's part of it. This is an ego-driven sport. Without recognition, there's no fulfillment of your ego. All right, moving right along. That was just a little sidetrack. Look, a squirrel. That's a graphic or a sound effect we need on the show. That should be controlled by Boothie, not even controlled by me. Have a good one, Dave Blair. Half an hour till lights out. Weather today has been set to dynamic. This is their humor for the race weekend. All their posts, I shouldn't even cover this. All they're doing is using the fact that they are the official Formula One game. So all this is about real life Formula One. And then we get to here. Brand new Formula One game with only one, the pie face. Don't know who that is. Nepenthe Z doing some stuff. How did your Hungarian GP go in F1 2020? Show us your race podium. Well, wouldn't they almost all look identical? Because it's not like they look different. Piece of candy. Yeah, exactly. We've seen this podium before. Okay. Cool. Yes, we get it. You are the official. We get it. Alright, I'm done with that. Oh, no, I'm not. There was a patch. Formula One... Right here. 2 hours ago. Formula One patch 1.05 is now out on PC. Which is cool, because I'm trying to get back to that today, tomorrow, at some point. So there'll be a patch. Might as well start downloading that right now, huh? See what's coming? Get the notes here. Formula One game. Oh, the Beat My Team patch. I remember we talked about that on Wednesday or Friday. And let's see. F1 patch notes posted on the 16th. Fixed a crash. Beating a rival. Oh, that would suck. I beat my rival and it crashes. Oh, that would have me. That would give me a rant hat. Yes, Futuristic Viper. We are really considering the SimPitties. Name to be a better name to come later. The SimPitties. The trophy of a SimPit. At the end of this year, we're thinking of a 2020 SimPitties in conjunction or along with Sim Pizza 2020 or Sim Frankenstein. Frankensim. Sim Pity Titty Trophy. Anyway, as we've been talking about pitties and titties, you guys have been looking at what was in the patch notes for the patch that came out today on the PC version of F1 2020. Rseat Studios in regards to Automobilista 2. First major Automobilista 2 update with several improvements and fixes will be released before the end of July. With it, the first DLC will also be available as Hockenheim in modern and various historical versions will also be released. And let's see here. Later this month, VirtualNet also posting about that, but we just told you as well. They're expanding the release promo to offer Hockenheim for free. So if you already own AMS2 or buy it between now and the update release, you will receive the Hockenheim pack with no extra cost. Which means it'll probably be paid for content later. You let me know if I missed chat I need to know about Boothie. Let's see here. Race Room also talk on also. Hungaroring, high res flicker race room. That's a cool looking photo. I would almost print that for wall art. Sweet. All right. So what else on Race Room? So yeah, that's the FR90 at Hungaroring, high res flicker images. That's all. That's old Jack Keatley. This is one mean machine. I have a new Mercedes has a fat ass. Race Room GT Masters Championship, a stellar lineup with 20 of the world's best for one epic championship. And that's posted by Jack Keatley, champion. Jack Keatley. Nestor Garcia, Esport Challenge, reverse grid, starting position 25th, finished lap 1 and 12th. Oh, let's check this out. Nice. Ah, it's a beauty slingshot through there. This is Nestor Garcia in the Esport Challenge GT Masters. Lap 1, starting 25th. By the end of lap 1, ending up in P12. Without being a dick about it. I haven't seen anything that was questionable. These have all been very clean passes. Whoa! Just giving him room. Make a hole. Coming through. Go around. Go around. Go around. All right. Very proud to show you his car for the most. That's what the car he was driving looks like in that Red Bull sponsored. Wow, isn't it weird now when you say something like that it like literally at the esport level means literally sponsored by Red Bull? I mean, did you guys see that coming? Or I always saw it coming. I just didn't know when. But to imagine that is a legitimate Red Bull sponsor. And I don't just mean Red Bull, but they're kind of the epitome of motorsport sponsorship, I do believe. Fascinating, though, that when we're talking sim racing, we're talking real-life sponsors. Real life. Yeah, someone, Tom, I think, joked, or someone had said, can Beneke, make money off an 11,000 iRating? Well, yeah. Red Bull doesn't just give you stickers and free Red Bull. They're on the Red Bull team. Yeah, it might be one of the lowest levels of all the Red Bull teams, but they're there. They're getting paid by Red Bull. That doesn't happen without a contract and some form of compensation. Not at that level. FIA WTCR, the king of the WTCR, after he came out on top of a 7-way showdown for the preseason Esport Championship. That was Jan Urlacher. And here we go, a little shot of him.
A chance perhaps to cut back under for Jan Urlacher. He picks up one more spot at the final lap of the race, the final lap of the weekend, the final lap of the season. And there's contact again. That could end up costing the title. Jan Urlacher crosses the line just outside the top half, 7th position.
Not Urlacher.
He has the title.
Urlacher. I gotta get my French on.
It was tough competition. I was definitely not favorite there because we did a few tests before that and I was not really quick. But I found out an issue on my sim and then I managed to train a bit more and get up to pace. So I'm really pleased about it. It's only simulation, but we are competing against the others, Honda, Hyundai and all the other guys from the championship and we won it. So it's good for me, it's good for Cyan, for the team.
Very cool. Congratulations. Special events are easing out of lockdown as we wrap up for another Grand Prix Spectacular. All participating drivers will be invited to the multiplayer races on August 7th. This is the GP Silverstone. Qualify for the race on the 7th of next month. And let's go ahead and click on that and see what they tell us here. If he would be German, it would be correct how I said it for an American. Yeah, but I guess he was French. I suppose I do know enough that if I had known he was French, I might have been able to assume the difference. So here they have their 1 week, 6 days, 2 hours, 10 minutes on their events to qualify for the Race Room GP. So there you go. Go do it. Go do it. And that's it. That's it from them. Moving on, Ricmotech. Couple things. This was pretty funny. I know that right now it's been very hard to get difficult. It's been very hard to get difficult. It's very difficult to get hard. It's been very hard to get certain sim racing components recently. LCM pedals, Thrustmaster LCM. Now you'll pay a premium. Honestly, you will pay a premium going through any third-party retailer. But Frank at Ricmotech has a selection of LCM pedals. Not sure what he charges, but That's one thing. And then also they've become the North American distributor for Extreme Sim Racing. Those guys are out of Brazil. You know, importing's always been a little difficult, various different companies. So good to see Extreme Sim Racing. You run Extreme Sim Racing, don't you, Boothie?
No, oh yeah. Sorry, the chassis, the virtual experience. It's actually a really good chassis. They're medium price. They're similar to the Next Level Racing GT Omega style chassis, but
Right.
they have a little bit more customization, so you can move things around a little bit more. But they get a little bit looser. You know how things, when you can move them, tend to have a little bit of flex. So
Sure.
you know, half of one's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But it's a good chassis.
Yeah, I mean, like I can compare that to my Rseat, which doesn't flex, but also costs like twice as much money. You know, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Jones, are you joking? Tom Jones, you're always joking. So my immediate thought is that's sarcasm because you're Tom Jones and I love you, buddy. But if you mean that, why? I want to know why. Because we are just trying to make this show better. You know, I want to know. What do you guys think? This is
You made a joke.
It was a joke?
why.
What?
You said it's difficult to get hard.
I didn't say to get. I did not say that. Now you guys are putting words into my mouth. It's not unusual at all. So unusual. All right. Taxi Simulator. Dave, you left. You dummy. Dave wanted me to start giving Taxi Simulator, oh my god, Drunk Taxi Simulator, some attention. And anyway, there was an update, or a devlog, I guess. So Taxi Simulator, I'm gonna have to try this. We'll come back to the devlog. I'm not gonna argue that this does not look fun. Can we get some audio? Have you played this, Devin?
No, but it does actually look like a little bit fun.
Does it have VR
There's a
support?
Bark one too.
This needs VR.
I don't know if this one does, but there's for those of you guys that have VR and you're wondering about programs that don't support it, there's a thing called VorpX, VORPX. It's designed to make games that aren't supported in VR, and I know that one does there's a drunk bus simulator one I saw a while ago, and that one you can do in VR.
Is that like theater mode though? I mean,
it depends on the title. VorpX, if they've built when I was talking earlier about VR, how they design the levels, if they've designed the level where you can actually have everything 3D modeled, you get a full 3D. If they didn't design it that way, then you get like essentially virtual triple screens.
okay. Planned release date for this is 2021. Oh, we can't play it. Look, add to your wish list. It's not even like early access. So this is a game where this looks awesome. Whoa, they went too far. I don't know if you saw where they were going right there. They went too far. Apparently you have to deliver a baby of a lady you've picked up in your taxi.
While drunk.
While drunk. Oh, look at the total DC cab. How many people have seen DC cab? Yeah, I will totally be all over this. We're going to keep our eyes on Taxi Simulator, look for updates, look for a release date, look for early access is what I'm assuming. Anyone ever dealt with Woodland Games or Playway? All right. Oh, man, we're almost to the end of the show. Man, NASCAB. Instagram. This is SimForge Engineering, their take on a high-end pedal set. Looking pretty nice. Never heard of them before. SimForge Engineering, the test prototype before powder coating and fit and finish. If everything goes well, the MRP on these pedals will be around $230. What? That looks like a lot of pedal for $230, doesn't it? Oh, we're gonna have to follow them. I'm gonna have to follow them by a semi-different method, though. Anyway, nice. All right, what else? Couple rigs to look at. Another thing. This is posted on Reddit by Mondo Fire. DIY sim update. He's gonna make these available soon. So if you want to, I don't know, maybe the wife would accept that if it was really nicely finished. If it looked like some sort of fancy chair, maybe they'd let you do it. You know, you get a nice looking rig like that, and a VR unit so you don't have to have a bunch of crap in front of you. And maybe we're getting closer to where your wife will allow you to have a rig in a main room of the house, not out in the garage.
You know, we were talking about it the other day. You can fit a chassis simple like that with VR and your rig all in a corner. It'll take you roughly 5-6 feet by 3-4 feet of space. It's not a lot. You can honestly do it in a pretty small spot.
You know, with my 3D printer giving me trouble, I pulled it out of the closet and stuck it on my workbench over there. And it freed up a bunch of space in my closet. And that's one of those typical apartment closets with double sliding door. Everybody who's lived in an apartment has had the exact closet that I have right there. Anyway, I could totally fit a rig in there. And if I had a fan, it wouldn't be miserable. But I could totally fit a rig in there and actually be out of sight, out of mind. Shoot. If I had kids, I might even close the door and put some lighting in there and be like, this is my sim room. Do not knock on the door. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, divorce. Yes, divorce is coming. Do not take my recommendations on... my recommendation is do not try to negotiate for a rig in a prominent spot in your home if you're married. Don't. It's not worth the fight, you guys. It'll only get worse because you think you're fighting for new space, and it'll turn out you're fighting for the space it exists in now. And you're about to be pushed one step further out of the main areas. Anyway, this one here being posted by Josh Mo World. New gears here. 49-inch Samsung Alienware PC. How many guys out there? I'm not. How many guys out there are on 49-inch widescreens? I want to know. And with that new super incredible, super duper fragilistic XP Allodosis one that just came out, have the prices dropped on the 1440 version of the Samsung QLED? Has that come down yet? Nope. VR. Your kitchen rig, Tom. There you go, Greg's VR. The only problem is your future wife at a racetrack is being hit on by like 37 grease monkeys. Right? And I'm not saying that you can't shine amongst 37 grease monkeys, but that's like worse ratio than going to a bar.
Well, as long as it's not difficult to get hard.
Only when you're 52. No, you know, truth be told, I race on 10-year-old monitors. You know, my monitors are 120 hertz 3D monitors that came out 10 years ago. And they have fat bezels. But they actually are at the kind of speeds that are still the standard of today. So other than my fat bezels, and other than the fact that they're actually old, nobody has monitors that are really outperforming mine by very much. So I have not needed to upgrade, and people pester me about my monitors because they look like I'm on crappy monitors, but I'm not. I'm on very good monitors. So I'm not the person to give you advice on monitors. I soon enough will be upgrading because my monitor for Twitch is like one of those weirdo resolutions. So it's actually bigger than 1080, I think, but it's wrong, so my 1080 stuff doesn't line up. Same thing with my roll-around computer. It's on 2 of those weird, funky resolution monitors. And I'd like to take these 3 and replace those and bring in... I just don't know. I think the reason I'm still hesitant is I still haven't decided if a 49 is good for me. I really do like triples. And I don't think 2 screens. That's basically 2 screens. So when I race on that other machine with the Halo, it's got the F1 Halo built in with the bezels. It doesn't take my entire peripheral. And right here, even far back from my monitors, further than I'd like to be, but I need it this way for the show, it is really close to my entire peripheral. Oh my God, Dennis, you are going to have to tune in. Next, The second Saturday of next month, we are going to have a battle over the FPS topic.
I'm gonna win it.
So if you can't win it. You cannot.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I am made of stone and cannot be bent. Only
Let's
shattered.
clarify that Shaun and I have an ending to it. We won't spoil what the ending is, but we have a resolution. There is a resolution. It's not just going to be a bitch fest, but definitely tune in and come watch because there's going to be some valid points and there's going to be some good perspective here.
You throttle every game to 60, and you can get more out of your computer, Dennis. Oh, you're killing, Dennis. You must be here next 3 wide, second Saturday of next month, 10 a.m. All right. I love this show, you guys. I just want you to know. I truly love this show. But next month we will fight over you know what? I'm going to start bulking up for our debate. Cuz I want to be super edgy for that one. Anyway, check out this awesome setup here. He's got the Rseat Formula chassis, Fanatic podium, Fanatic, excuse me, Formula rims, Fanatic Club Sport pedals, Alienware computer. That's pretty dialed in. Well done. Oh, check this out. You know, these are the stories that do touch my heart. Here is Natalie McGillian's new tetraplegic custom setup. So Natalie has no use of her legs, at least not well enough for sim racing. I don't know her complete condition. And she's using one hand for the steering wheel and the other hand on what is some very custom looking throttle brake mechanism. So, like I said, these are the things that I love about sim racing. I know we really focus on esport level and all that kind of stuff, but for me, one of the things that I really love about sim racing is, unlike real life racing, it's really for everybody, you know, and it's a really generous community that is always looking to help people out in so many ways. We're very open, we're very helpful, we're very inclusive, we include everyone in our hobby. Yeah, there you go, Mike, inclusion. So check this out. How cool is this? She's got a handbrake and a lever that I believe operates. Or is it a hand? It's a hand. I'm sorry, it's the other way around. It's a grip style. Let's play that again. It's a grip style throttle and a push brake, I think, is what she's got. That's awesome. Good for you, Natalie. Good for you, for everybody who helped you build that setup. That's awesome. I love it. This made me laugh really well, and we were talking all that VR earlier today. This is posted by Hi Rye. Anyone else gotten into sim racing during the lockdown? Here's his thoughts on what 2019 helmets look like versus his thoughts on what 2020 helmets look like. And I thought that was well played. And if you're a fan of the show, Hi Rye, if you're out there, you email me, Shaun, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com, and I will happily send you a SimPit sticker just because you made me laugh today. Anyway, 19 helmets versus 20 helmets. There we go. Here comes VR. This made me laugh this morning as well. This was posted by the Pit Crew. I saw it on Reddit as well. The Pit Crew presents... What? No, we don't. Not our Pit Crew. Apparently, there's another Pit Crew. Like we stumbled on some original title with the word Pit Crew. Anyway, the Pit Crew presents the 2.4-hour Du Mans. It's like 1967 all over again. This is on Assetto Corsa, the most mod-friendly modern sim we've got. The Porsche GT40 versus the Ferrari 908 and the Ford 330. How's that for a mess up of... The Ford GT40, the Porsche 908, and the Ferrari 330 P4. Assetto Corsa, July 30th, 1800. This is via thepitcrew.co.uk, and that is not us. It sure did, Dark Knight, but there was a changing of the guard at some point. I'm not sure the exact date and time when it occurred, but I think the first salvo in that war wasn't even by the companies involved. The first salvo in that was by Sim Raceway. When Sim Raceway bought out rFactor Central, it changed the ability for modders to get to the community. I just broke your brain. I'm sorry, Billy. I'm not sure what I did, but yeah, the first salvo was when the modding community was hacked at the knees, and that kind of took the wind out of the sails of the rFactor, original rFactor modding community. And that is very close in timing, funny enough, not that far in the grand scheme of things from Assetto Corsa, which was then very modding friendly. You know, Andreas, I have not seen that movie yet. It is on my TiVo. That's how old I am. Whatever you want to call your recording device. My DVR. There you go. But I haven't watched it yet. I forgot I had it. I should watch it later. Oh yeah, with my jumbled up cars. Home of the one-click install.
That Damon movie, like or the whatever,
yes.
whatever that is. You
Ford
need
versus...
to go watch that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, I can't believe that I haven't. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll put on the background. Well, I can't do DVR in the background in my studio. So
if you need a bedtime movie tonight, that's the one, bro. It's good.
Yeah, but I don't control the TV at bedtime. That's my brother's domain. No, that's Greg's world. He's the one who recorded it. We just haven't arranged to watch it, but
you tell him that chat says you have to watch it.
All right. I'm going to tell him that Tom Jones is going to donate $10 to the stream if we watch it by Wednesday.
There you go. Wednesday morning pit stop opens up with the Ford versus Ferrari quick little recap. Spoiler alert.
If I have a proper Ford versus Ferrari recap on Wednesday, I expect everybody to donate $10 to the stream. I don't ask for much. All right. I'm kidding. By the way. A watch party. I think we'd get shut down. I think there might be consequences.
You can do it on Twitch if you wanted to. If you made the screen smaller and just put it up on the top side, you've seen how we do our overlays. You could do that, and you actually could do that if you wanted to.
I don't know if that TV is not. That's my TV that it's on.
You have HDMI splitters.
I do.
Yeah, see, you could totally do this.
I might even have a long enough cord, by the way.
We should totally, like a late night Tuesday or something, or like an early, because you're up so early in the morning, maybe do like an early Tuesday morning or something.
Ford versus Ferrari while I assemble trophies?
Yeah.
Or do I have to watch every moment of the movie?
You'll get hooked watching some parts. The sound on it is honestly that good.
All right. Malone ripped off Lion King and is still standing. So I have to have it on a background screen. I can't capture it anyway.
You can capture it, but what you do is you put it smaller so that it doesn't take up the whole screen, so that you're the primary focus, but that it's still there. And then with the VOD, I'll go through and delete it. Like I'm downloading your race right now, just as a heads up for everybody. The Sunday race from the GT series from Shaun will be up later today or tomorrow. But I'll go through and delete that VOD for you if you decide to do it.
Okay. Yeah, everyone logs on to Prime and we all hit go at the same time. Is it on Prime? Oh, if it's on Prime, I can watch it right here. I don't need to do any shenanigans. I have Prime. All right. This is posted by RDX2. We'll keep you up to date if there's anything that we're gonna do. Full screen O strike. I only got my first wheel last week and completely fell in love. Not usually the DIY type of person. Oh, I love hearing that. But I've been motivated by all the rigs I've seen other people make. Headed to the junkyard tomorrow to see what I can find. Wish him luck. So here's him planning some drawings, cutting some wood on. I'm gonna call this a Ricmotech RS1 inspired shape and design. If I or we get credit for the Deathmobile name coining, I think that all of these MDF or plywood type should be called RS1 inspired. So anyway, another guy getting in deep. He thinks he's getting in deep, and he has no idea how much deeper the water is. All right. What else? Oh, it's congratulations time, and then we're going to bring the show to a close. So, yesterday, we had our GT4 race at Circuit Jacques Villeneuve in, I can't even list all the car makes, but Anthony I'm Batman Morano Jr., wins the race, and look at that finish there, by the way. That is David Big Dog Grunnell right on his ass, nipping at his heels, so to speak. Very close race, a lot of good racing. We had a really strong race all the way through the grid. I heard some of it on chat, heard some of it after the race, but it sounds like just all the way through our grid. Just a couple of little incidents. Phenomenal race at a track that's actually known for bringing on carnage to an extent. What is it about those Canadian tracks, man? Between Villeneuve and Mossport, we're talking some tracks that are known for carnage. Those crazy Canadians. Anyway, with that win, let's look at our standings. David Grunnell still in the lead with a 6-point advantage over Morano Jr., with Joa Antonio sitting in third with 120 points. That is the SimPit Trophy Series. There will be a very special trophy to our winner at the end of that season. 4 races. We're at our mid-season break, so no race this coming weekend. And then we're going to have 4 more weeks until we declare our champion in that series. On the oval side of things, it was back to the road courses. Ugh. Back to the road courses again in that broken-ass NASCAR. Mark Michkowski, no wonder he picked these races. He won. David Clymer finishing in second. Anthony Batman Jr., Batman Morano Jr., finishing in third over there. That's why he's Batman, because he comes out of the dark everywhere to win and podium, no matter what the discipline is. So that's our third race at Watkins Glen. And with that, Michkowski leads in the points with 125 over David Clymer, 123, and Morano Jr. There he is again in the top 3 with 121 points in our oval series. 5 races to go in that season. All right, I promised you, I think on Monday, I told you it was coming. On Friday, I promised it would be here. And here we are on Monday, and we have the Devin Booth SimPit Series. We've been waiting on calendar announcements. A lot of us have followed a few of his different series. Let's see what he's got ahead. First of all, we've got the Dirt Rally 2.0 series. This is a online series that you can run. You have a week to run each race. And then obviously it's rally racing. So you go up on the leaderboard and see how you fared against the other guys running in the SimPit Sim Racing Booth SimPit Rally League. And there's the schedule of events there. Did I get that right, Baba Boothie?
Yeah, you did.
Next up. All right. What am I looking at? This is the SimPit Mustang series. I'm sorry I don't have a better graphic.
Okay, hold on now. These aren't supposed to be graphics. I tried to say this in Twitch chat, but we were all very busy this morning. These are just notes so that I could read them for you.
Well, and I was just going to say that's good enough, because what this is giving you a heads up. Starting Tuesday, as in tomorrow?
No, July 28th. So next week.
Excuse me. Woo!
I moved it back an hour for you, specifically.
So what time do we start?
We're starting at 6 Pacific instead of 5 now. We're doing a 30-minute practice instead of an hour. And we're looking... it depends on the lobby setup. You guys know how iRacing can be. But the idea is to do 2 20-minute races with the second one inverted.
Awesome. So this is the Tuesday night Mustangs. It will start up at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you very much for that. Raceline 44 asks, how do you join the Dirt 2 League? But this is the selection track starting next week. Phoenix, Roval, Suzuka, Donington, Interlagos, Okayama, Laguna Seca, Mount Panorama, Lime Rock Park, Zandvoort, New Hampshire Road. And I got to tell you, some of the best racing that I've had has been in that group. I think that's where I first started my real need to somehow, some way beat Batman. I don't know. I think it was in the Mustangs that I first was like, who's this guy? Anyway, And then, beyond that, what's the other one? What's this little skinny thing? This is the Sunday Night E2M Indy bi-weekly series.
This one has a bit of a story. So we have, obviously, you know, you guys know how the communities are with the streams and stuff like that. You make friends, yada yada. We have a young boy by the name of Max. I shouldn't say young. He's a good kid. He's 16 now. He started out as one of those younger trolls making fun of everybody when he came in. But he's been asking for an indie league for a long time. He kind of started to grow up with us a bit in chat. And so for him, we let him choose the track list. So this is his track list. So you guys have Road America, Detroit, Okayama, the Indy Oval, Laguna, Lime Rock GP, Watkins Boot, Spa GP, Montreal, Monza, and Monza combined. He's the one that's tested the high downforce set on all the tracks, except for the Indy Oval. We'll use the Indy Oval set. And it'll be running bi-weekly, so E2M stands for Extreme to the Max, which is the name of the individual that's in our chat. There he is in Twitch chat. There, you can actually see him.
Hey, Max.
He's here.
Awesome. There you go. And so all sorts of cool racing. So that means at this point you've got 4 series running, don't you, Devin?
So we've got officially that I'm hosting. We'll have 3 that are going to be running, and then we actually have another thing coming up. I want to wait till you're done though, because it's a bit of a downer moment. So just before you say goodbye, I'd like to have a quick real talk, if that's okay.
We're pretty there. We're pretty much there.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we now in the Simpit community, he's not as active in the chats. He's more of a lurker. But if you've been in Matt Malone streams, my own streams, obviously everybody knows Kanducci and Terry. As well as Shaun are here. There's a man by the name of Rumble Strip, and he had a heart attack a couple weeks ago on July 4th and passed away. So we're actually going to be doing a memorial race for him. We don't have the date set yet, but I wanted to mention to everybody in chat, he's a big, anytime a person from the community, has any kind of issue, we always feel for him. But in this particular case, his son had died in March this year. So his son died, he had a heart attack a couple weeks ago, and now his wife is surviving them. And she's just in a really bad spot. She messaged a few people from the Twitch community, and we're going to do a memorial race. We're thinking of doing a donation thing for charity organizations in regards to Downs and autism, as that's what their child had. So there will be something coming up, and I just wanted to put that out there. If you guys have any ideas for how to maybe do a Kickstarter for her, or if you have an idea on charities that are really good and reputable for those organizations, any kind of thing that we could potentially do to help out their family and do good for his memory, that's something that we're going to be looking to do in without about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm talking with Malone about it. Obviously, Shaun and I have mentioned some things. Mentioned some things about it as well, but it's going to be a really big, important thing for the community. So I'd really appreciate the support. And if you guys happen to see anybody that you know that's kicking around like other streamers and stuff like that, and they're mentoring Rumble Strip, make sure you throw out a rip there. F's in chat, all that good stuff. He was a really good guy. He was a really good sense of humor. So F's in chat for Rumble, and he will be missed. And we'll do something to remember him solidly.
Okay, definitely, and we'll all kick in and support on that as well. So awesome, thank you for that. I know that's tough. I know that's tough, and my heart goes out to everybody who's touched by this. And these are the hard moments. We have a lot of online friends who we don't necessarily get to hang out with like our regular friends, and sometimes it's these moments that realize just what our online friends really mean to us. So his wife messaged and she said slap hands, and those of you guys that know me, that's like a thing that we say in our channel. To have somebody's family member say something like that and via personal message is like we were in his home. Like he's made the jokes about Shaun the Napster Cole. He's made the slap hands jokes in his home. His wife, separate from him, mentioned these things, and that we were a big part of his life. So it really shows you how much tighter this community is, and especially with COVID on right now. Right.
Just how much tighter it is than people realize, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, and we'll give you news on that. We'll all get in on a higher note to honor in the near future. So that is going to do it today's show. Tom, I think you are 100% right. If we are going to retire the push-up cam, which we are going to do, I am going to let it go out with a bang, and we are going to finish today's show with one last time push-up cam. Do I have to swear? No, in honor, I do this one for my homie. I don't have to swear. Jeez, all sorts of stuff in the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is going to do it for today's show. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here on a Monday morning. It's been a really fun show. Been some great conversation as usual. I appreciate that. I value your presence. I thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of the pit crew. Baba Boothie, welcome back, and thank you for being here. But that's going to do it for today. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.